My name's John. I went to prison for 20 years, and I'd like to share my story of how I made it through and how I'm working to make it out here in the real world. I've got lots of stories and lots of trials, um, and I'd like to share them with the purpose of helping people understand how the prison system works, how how hard it is, and how a person can fix their life in prison and come out and be a member in society, a contributing member in society. I I have a lot of. Hello, my name is John Wright, aka Irish. I I committed a crime and was sentenced to 20 years in prison in TDC, and I want to share with you the stories of my incarceration for the purpose of understanding TDC and how the criminal justice system is supposed to work and how it really doesn't work at times. I'd also like to share how I'm rebuilding my life and how I'm trying to make it out here. And I have a lot of stories about prison life, about what it's like to be white in prison. Um, I have a lot of things to share on how challenging and rewarding prison can be, and also the things that I've learned that saved my life in prison and that contribute to me making it out here. Um, I'd also like to share the trials and problems I face daily, which might surprise a lot of people. And I learned how to create a relationship with Jesus Christ. I didn't know anything about religion when I got incarcerated. Um, I want to share that story with people, and I hope it touches people and understand that some good things came out of my incarceration. Educationally, I learned that I could learn. I thought I was disabled. Um, I thought I was stupid, and I learned that I can learn and actually achieve goals and be in the top of classes that I was in. I ended up graduating with an associate's degree with honors from Trinity Valley Community College, and I'm super proud of that. But those are the two things that I learned that if I could tell you anything about prison, were the biggest things that happened to me for me was developing a relationship and learning about Jesus Christ and discovering that I was capable of learning and growing. Okay, um, now there are ways when you get out. I'm using my education, all the stuff that I learned, to try and start my own business. If you want to learn how to rebuild your life outside of prison, I can help you with that. I can help you understand that. A lot of guys have trouble building their credit, and I can teach you how to do that. I can show you how to start your own business, but you have to have the want to. Like I'm working on starting my own business due to the struggles that I've had with finding and keeping jobs. Because if you've been to prison, you know that it's hard to find a job that will hire you because you've been to prison. So if you committed a crime 30 years ago, they're going to hold that against you a lot of the time. And I can show you it's not easy how to get housing, and I can show you how to make it out here if you want to make it. But you have to want to make it. You can't. You can't just. It requires work. Well, how did I end up here? This is what happened. Um, I'm not giving you a pity party. I'm not trying to tell you anything to feel sorry for me or anything. I just want you to understand what led me to the violence I committed to be incarcerated. Um, my earliest memories, I was 4 years old, and my mother and my new stepdad went on honeymoon, and they left me with a woman whose boyfriend molested me. And later on that year, I witnessed my stepfather um, nearly beat my mom to death. And all I remember is her being taken off in an ambulance in the middle of the night. Um, Later on, I was angry kid, I guess, from those situations. My mom struggled. Um, my mom struggled a lot with money and with finances, and so I was stealing a lot. I was doing bad things, and I was a handful for my mom. Of course, I was fighting a lot. We were in the hood, and angry little white kid in the hood. I ended up getting a lot of trouble. I ended up going to the first little home situation when I was 9 years old, and that's one of the first times that I realized that how much I hated myself, and I didn't value my own life. And but fast forward on through life, through counseling and through situations, I still am feeling like I have no value, and I ended up attempting suicide when I was 14 years old. I was committed to Terrell State Hospital and got in, got out of Terrell State Hospital, came home, and was still running wild and still full of self hate. And my mother couldn't deal with me anymore, so I ended up having to get on the streets and just being stupid and fighting and stealing and doing whatever because I didn't care about my life. I didn't care about anything, but particularly my life. Well, fast forward to when I'm about 25, 26. I'm living in downtown Dallas and bartending in downtown Dallas, alcohol and minor drug use. I'm with my girlfriend at the time, and a guy says something disrespectful to her. So I ended up catching a charge. I got aggravated assault, serious bodily injury, in which the individual I was into it with died, and I ended up getting 20 years for it. And I did the 20 years day for day. And in this, I'd like to share my stories of how I made it and how I struggled and how I'm making it and how I'm struggling now.